minutes. That's how long the initial court appearance for former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter lasted. The first appearance on Thursday was not allowed to be broadcasted. Potter is charged with second-degree manslaughter in the death of Daunte Wright. Her next court appearance is scheduled for May 17th. Also this Thursday, Hennepin County Sheriff Dave Hutchison wants Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott to clear up confusion regarding mutual aid response. Hutchison writes that the city's actions since Sunday evening have created significant confusion. In order to maintain peace and safety, it is critical that the city of Brooklyn Center communicate with its state, county, and local law partners regarding its ongoing need for mutual aid. The confusion grew Wednesday when Mayor Mike Elliott expressed concern about joint operations and the role of the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office in responding to civil unrest. Meanwhile, people continue to mourn at the memorial site where Daunte Wright died. But as large gatherings resume, neighbors are expressing concerns. Reporter Pafua Yang has both sides.
At the corner of 63rd Avenue and Catherine Drive in Brooklyn Center stands a 12-foot-tall wooden fist. Balloons sway with the wind, flowers continue to replenish, and neighbors proceed for their daily walk.
I think it's very painful, the reason that people are coming, and very timely and sad.
Jennifer and Lawrence Oliver King have noticed more visitors in their neighborhood due to Daunte Wright's memorial. To them, it's a welcome sight.
I don't see really any impact. I don't really have any fear of this area being anything other than a memorial.
However, in that same neighborhood,
it was out of control.
Others feel uneasy.
The people that come here are good people, but they draw instigators, and that's the fear that we have.
Gary says he has a neighbor who didn't come back to their home for 3 days.
They were threatened in their yards by instigators, yelling and screaming, jumping on cop cars.
63rd Avenue is already a busy road, and Gary feels that the gathering of large crowds makes it unsafe.
You can't see around it. You can't drive around it without having 15 people in your way. You have to stop for. Kids can't play.
As for Jennifer and Lawrence, the site should stop people in their tracks if it means bringing unity.
Unity of having everybody come together and grieve together makes a lot of sense because the emotion needs to go somewhere.
In Brooklyn Center, Pafua Yang, CCX News.
The city of Brooklyn Center has created a new crisis team to cope with the response. Delane Cleveland has more.
As Brooklyn Center continues to deal with the aftermath of the Daunte Wright killing, the city announced the formation of a community crisis team to help ensure coordination in the coming days.
It's our goal to make sure that people continue to be heard. The community crisis team that's been assembled is one way of making sure that the grievances that people are putting forward are channeled in a way that we can hear and address those grievances.
The 9-member community crisis team is comprised of people representing Brooklyn Center businesses, churches, schools, nonprofit organizations, and city government. Acting City Manager Reggie Edwards says the group plans to meet daily over the next 10 days to discuss the protests from the previous day and how things can be improved going forward.
For example, we increased communication. Now that we have community coordinating with our officers, we're able to say, well, let's share phone numbers and let's simply talk. When you see something happening, you can communicate with us. When we know something, we can communicate with you. It's a small step, but it's something that would not have happened had we not start coming together and working together as a team.
The city says the community crisis team is still forming and a formal introduction of the members will happen sometime soon. In Brooklyn Center, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
In the wake of the Daunte Wright shooting, a local immigrant group tells CCX News they are demanding justice, but they want it done peacefully.
As African immigrants, we stand here saying that we are subjected to injustice every single day we step outside the door. So what we are asking is that we encourage people to peacefully protest and demand justice, but at the same time, we strongly condemn anybody who wants to come into our community and riot and destroy our homes, our businesses, and public establishments. That's not helping us heal.
That's Hulda Momanyi, president of the largest organized group of Kenyans in Minnesota. The Brooklyn Center resident says she lives less than 2 minutes from where the shooting happened. Meanwhile, there's significant outreach effort to help vaccinate local African immigrants to protect against COVID-19. Leaders of the Kenyan group say they know how important it is to get vaccinated because of the impact the pandemic has had on their culture and tight-knit community.
Being able to promote an event where we are trying to push towards that finish line, right, to try to get back to some sort of normal is critical for us.
A vaccination event in partnership with the state and Hennepin County will be held Sunday, April 25th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Brooklyn Park Community Activity Center. The goal is to get at least 200 people signed up. Governor Walz was in Golden Valley Thursday to highlight efforts to increase access to COVID-19 vaccines.
The way to really get to people is through trusted partners and bring the vaccines to them. And these pop-up and partner sites like the one you're seeing here are critically important.
Golden Valley nonprofit Workabilities helped host a pop-up vaccination site. It's much needed. On Thursday, the state reported more than 2,700 new cases of COVID-19, much higher than seen in previous days and weeks. The state's 7-day average case rate is up to 7%, the highest since January 5th.